Alright, good evening everyone. It's another day. It is also the last week of the league. Hang on, I realize I don't have my beauty light on. Just to make me that 1% more viewable. Let's see if this helps. Hey, oh my goodness, that's way too bright. Alright, a little bit down. There we go. That should be okay. Alright, what was I saying? Yeah, it's the last week, which is pretty cool. I'm quite tired. Little man has been keeping us up, and I also feel like it's the last week. So, I also realized that the chat doesn't have a background. I must have broken something in OBS. Give me 1 second to see if I can fix that. Do I still have anywhere? Oh, I do, actually. I just made a mistakey. Alright, 1 second. So this can go away. Be gone. There we go. Alright, be gone. And hello, welcome back. The original winner, which I think I've now messed up the sizing of. So we'll just move you a tiny bit down. That should be okay. Anyway, so we're going to have a look at some games. We're going to relax a little bit. I am definitely low tension tonight, so very happy just to chill and watch some games. I've been enjoying my own little Road to Better Chess series as well. Actually close to breaking a rating level 2000, so it'll be the first time I get a 2000 League Chess rating for Rapid, because I've never actually put in the work. I'd like to think that it's easy to do, so easy is the wrong word, but anyway. So we've got a few games tonight. Here we can see there's 2 already going, and we are going to at least catch some of these 3 games, and maybe about 11 o'clock we'll call it. Maybe we'll continue a bit further. I'm just going to look at the standings for 1 second, because we also know that, or not the standings, the pairings. We know that 50 Shades of Tall and I Like My Suggestion, actually the 2 games that we are currently seeing, are kind of critical to who ends up taking the league this season. 50 Shades of Tall and I Like My Suggestion are the leading teams, and basically whoever wins this wins. I don't think really there's a way for anyone else. Actions Have Consequences are third in the league, but I don't think they can take it, so it's really going to come down to these top ones, and I think we currently have 2 of those games, so very lucky we can watch 2 of them, as this will hopefully decide who takes the league. So I realize actually you can't see the pairings because I just put the chat back in, so it's massive. Just believe me in that case. Anyway, so we've got 2 games. We've got Joonaf, who's playing against kostasvl, and Joonaf is part of the leading team, but as I said, okay, hang on, let's make this easier actually. So it's 50 Shades versus I Like My Suggestion. So Joonaf is I Like My Suggestion, 50 Shades of Tall is Kostas, and in the other one, Sylvlondon is also part of I Like My Suggestion, and Chatakkuma is 50 Shades of Tall. So let's have a look at what had happened in these games since we didn't catch them actually starting. So let's just have a look and see. I gotta just change the setting here. Let's see what's been happening since they started. This game has already been going for a while. So I also see actually that the 2 players who are playing are watching each other's games. So on Leashes, sylvlondon is watching Joonaf's game, and Joonaf is watching sylvlondon's game. So I think they are taking this quite seriously. Probably they're trying to take this win for the season. Which, I mean, I can't blame them. It's really fun to win a season. I've only been able to do it once, I've had it taken away from me once, which was very frustrating. Um, I also actually see sylvlondon chatting in Joonaf's. Oh no, that's their own game. Thank goodness. Okay, I don't know if you should chat in your teammate's game while you're playing. That seems a little bit strange. But anyway, so let's see what's happened. Joonaf is white. They're the only player that I really know very well out of the four we're watching currently, so I vote for Joonaf. Go, Joonaf. Um, let's see, e4, e5. Alright, so no Sicilian. c3, c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, classic symmetrical. Symmetrical works for a while, by the way, but you obviously can't symmetrical forever as black because you're a move down. So the most classic way that that goes is eventually the knight jumps require you to react because you're just gonna lose a queen or something. Very dangerous. Oh, sorry. It's possible for white to put black in check, so black can't respond with the same move. I think that's actually the way you break the pattern most easily. Anyway, queen g4. Goodness me. Alright, so yeah, already you cannot do a symmetrical of that. You just hang your queen. Very interesting. Straight up hitting this pawn. The big difference obviously being that knight f3 wasn't played, so white has kept this diagonal open the whole time, I guess. It is a bit different to play out the queenside knights first. Normally you try to play your kingside out in castle. Alright, so black only has a few moves here. I mean, queen f6 is a move, I guess. g6 is a move. Deciding to push the bishop back is a move. There is also something a little bit more aggressive, like putting your knight out, and then once white takes, you could play rook g8. And you'll sack one pawn at least, but you'd actually get your rook very active. And then you would be double attacking this pawn on f2. So that could actually get very, very interesting very quickly. You'd also have this knight jump onto the c2 square. Wow, I wonder if that's actually a line you can play against this. It definitely looks worth looking at because that sounds very interesting. But anyway, black played g6, so fair enough, not going for any fancy complications. And now black's probably going to get white to have to jump their queen away. White would probably love to put their dark square bishop in there and just, black can't castle. This is not ideal though, right? You don't want to fianchetto on your king side if there's no bishop to defend these weaker squares, because your knight has to move so you don't have defense of all of them. Queen f3. Okay, so getting out of any potential problems here. So a beautiful move for black would have been here to play d5, uncovering an attack on the queen, also hitting the bishop at the same time. So white has misplaced black's pawn slightly, but they've also had to spend the move, and now they've got this pressure on the f7 pawn. I also see that these players have played only once and they've drawn, so maybe that's where we're heading. Alright, knight f6, blocking that, also allowing black to castle. And now knight g2, which is the only natural way for white to continue because their queen is taking up the f3 square. It is a bit weird to have your queen on f3 with your knight on e2. Your queen normally doesn't sit in the front of the attack, especially because there's nothing to directly attack right now, so it might be that this queen ends up being a little bit of a problem. I could see, for instance, d6, bishop g4, just putting some more pressure on this queen, and white might be a little bit uncomfortable having to jump their queen around, and black can get some tempi on it. d6, alright, yeah, so actually looks like we might be heading in that direction already from black. d3. d3 also unfortunately takes away one of the squares that this queen could be running to, so it does look a bit dangerous. Bishop g4, here we go, develop with tempi. Alright, queen g3. I would love to play here and hit the queen, but obviously I need to defend the bishop first, and in that case I also want to cover this square, but I can't. My queen needs to cover it, so maybe it's not possible to trap the queen just yet. Play up in here, then black would still have this square. And unfortunately you just can't. Maybe if you like had this, yeah, that's a lot of moves, unfortunately, but it is possible that there might be a way. Nah, I guess not. White would always have a chance to hit the bishop, and then it would be double attacked, so they could take it and win the piece. But it's fun to dream. Alright, black continues aggressively. Knight b4, just looking at that very, very weak pawn. Weak because the queen isn't there. And this is a little bit dangerous. White could castle and give up the pawn. And then they would have to move their knight. And then they would have to maybe hit that other knight and try and push it around a bit. But then also weaken the d3 pawn. So probably best is something like what they played. Bishop e3. Just defending the pawn. They could still kick that knight away, but now the b pawn isn't moving anytime soon, so this bishop's definitely coming out on this diagonal. Okay. Queen d7, defending this. Maybe black is actually looking at this plan we just discussed to try and hit that queen, try and push it around. This is the only square it can go. You'll see everything else is covered. Here, 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 here. You can't take here. This is your only retreating square. But then you're just not fast enough as black to get that queen, unfortunately, because any move you make to prepare g4, they can play f3 or h3, and then as soon as you attack it, they can take the bishop. Still very fun. Alright, white develops with their own threat, hitting that weak knight. Actually now, knight h5 is just so natural. Black might have been thinking about it, or might not have been thinking about it, but now this is clearly the move that avoids them having to move their queen. Although the knight could, no, I mean not really. You don't want to reroute your knight like this. That seems very silly. So this might be the move, and you might end up putting the knight on g7 actually. This is normally something you see in the Queen's Gambit exchange variation. I can actually do this. I realize now I could do something like this. So Queen's Gambit exchange variation where you. So I'm going to take this off. I don't know. I need to put some moves on the board. I'm just gonna develop some stuff here, 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 here. Let's go here. I don't know. Let's prepare the minority attack, and then you can play bishop f5, hitting on this diagonal, and your knight's backing it up. Because normally you'd be losing a pawn there, but with the knight fianchettoed, it defends the f5 square, so you can retake and you can get rid of your weak bishop because your blocked pawn is on the light square, and you can take out white's strong bishop. So this is, I don't know if this is theory. No, I've kind of just like made up the moves now to get here, but this is an idea, and not just in this continuation. I have played this against the London as well. You know, there's a version of this, basically the same pawn structure. Alright, moving on. I realize I have too many things open. Let me just close some tabs. I've got just too many tabs open here. Alright, that should be okay. Alright, so bishop g5, knight h5, here we go. Okay, so now white's queen has to run to the h4 square. There is nowhere else to go, and they do find it. And now what? So for black, castling is obviously good. There's no immediate way to get the queen, but because this one is here, you could get. Wow, I wonder. I guess this would no, because this is defend. Oh wow. Oh my goodness, white might actually just have walked into a serious problem here. And I see that black did find a very aggressive move here, h6, punishing white for the way they're playing. Okay, the point being, if you move your bishop, say you move it back, then I can play g5 and your queen is trapped. Nowhere you can go is safe, which means, wow, probably the only move white can play here is F or H themselves, and then once they lose their bishop, they can take the other bishop. Which one would you'd probably prefer to play H, because F is under attack. You might still want to castle this way, although the way this game is going, maybe you want to castle long, I don't know. So I would say for white, well, I actually also just realized white is up so much time in this position. 21 minutes to 6. I didn't realize that. Let me actually just see if I can, yeah. Alright, nope. Spectator note. Can't tell if this is the right setup. Okay, whatever, giving up. Yeah, I think white's only move here. I think white's only move here is h6, h3. That makes sense to me. You can't save this bishop anymore. Sacking it doesn't really matter. You could sack it for the pawn, and then you can attack the rook, and they can move it away, and then I don't know. This is long, you know. Then you have to check here. Maybe they trade. You have to take. Then you can push here, but I don't know. There's no immediate attack. White can just kind of like try and force your queen away or try and trade it off. Ach, black. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the move you're looking at here is h3. f3 does the same thing. It's just I don't know if you want to play f3. I've been watching Feingold lectures again, just kind of for the nostalgia today, while I was doing some stuff, and it was very fun. You have to watch, if you watch Ben Feingold, you have to watch some of his older stuff. Though, you know, in the last year or two, maybe even, he's kind of like lost the energy to really make um, be like animated that much. He's just kind of old man Feingold now. But his original lectures and stuff were super fun, very enjoyable, and obviously good content as well. You know, he is still a strong chess player, but yeah, his content was pretty good. All right, let's see. I think white is realizing that they have to move one of these pawns, so we'll see which one they decide to move. I'm gonna go one back, and let's have a look at the other game. So Joonaf was, let's go back to the pairings 1 second. Joonaf is I like my suggestion, and so is black sylvlondon. So chatakkuma over here is 50 Shades of Tall. Hello, thank you for all the hearts. I don't know who is smashing the heart button so much, but I can see it just exploding. I really appreciate that. I'm a little bit sad and alone at home today. My wife and kid are away because I have to go to Tokyo tomorrow. So I'm missing them a little bit. So I appreciate all the hearts. Don't break your mouse button, but thank you very much. Unless you're on a phone, then obviously you can go as wild as you want, as long as the arthritis doesn't get you, right? So yeah. Okay. Hang on, let me look at the game here for a second. You know what? Type me a chat message. I appreciate all the reactions, but since I have no idea who's sending it, I can just kind of vaguely say thank you. If you can say something, then at least I would know who to thank in specific. Alright, so the second game we've got on the board right now was a d4 game. I like this already. I do prefer d4 myself. Knight f6, c4, and g6. So this could be a Grunfeld, this could be a King's Indian. These are strong players as well. 23, almost 2400 for black, and 2200 for white. So strong players indeed. Knight c6, so yeah, just walking straight into whichever one. Who is this weirdo? Hey, Bobby. Thanks, man. Is it you smashing your buttons? I appreciate it, man. I hope you're doing well. What is news that side, by the way? My stepbrother sounds like he might be getting that job in where was it? In Milan? Which, by the way, I just realized. Sorry, I'm taking a detour, and it's your fault. I just realized I don't actually know exactly where it is. Alright, here we go. Alright, I mean, it looks like it's just smash in the top middle of it. Oh, it's way at the top. Anyway, yeah, he looks like he might be coming to do a job there. So, yeah, I might have some reasons to come over to your side at some point, like I mentioned the other day. Alright, time to reveal if this is a King's Indian or a Groenveld, and it is a Groenveld. Okay. So d5, and white says, cool man, take my pawn, I don't mind. If you do, I'm guessing we're going to play e4 and just take the center. And black says, no, I'm not so sure. It's the middle of the boot entrance. Ah, okay, is that what that is? Cool man, thanks for explaining it. Italy the boot. Ah, fair enough, man. I'm glad that you came to say hi. No stress if you have to go. It's just nice to have a face come past. I always appreciate it. And I'm sure the algorithm appreciates the bajillion reactions you've sent already. It's a Grunfeld tag Leverkusen. Oh, is that what's happening here? Because yeah, I can see neither player decided to do anything with the tension at the middle of the board. That proves that they're very strong, because no one low rated can deal with tension. You always try and take the pawns immediately, right? Alright, so bishop g7, and now h4. Whoa, okay, I love it. I have no idea what this is. Bobby, if this is what you mean, it's the Grunfeld Leverkusen. This is super interesting. Maybe I can try play this in the future. What happens after the h5 though? Just draw agreed. I wonder. Alright, white instead. Oh, black instead goes c5. Oh, okay, nice. So just breaking down the center like crazy. Also, coincidentally, he's doing kind of bad. Leverkusen is a full fantasy team of Grunfeld. Oh, I didn't know that. Now I follow, now I follow. c5, looking strong. Black just putting all the pawns on the board. Interestingly, in this situation, though, white obviously isn't anywhere close to castling. On the right side, in the king's side, this light square bishop has no options to move. And on the long diagonal, on the long side for queenside castling, they've pushed two of their pawns. They've got a fianchettoed bishop coming down, and they haven't moved the two pieces that still need to get out of the way. So yeah, pretty crazy. Lyricun is a B1, not a variation. Oh, is that what's happening there? Okay. Thank you. Now I'm a little bit more caught up. Anyway, this is some spicy stuff. I have no idea what white's plan is here with h4, but very interesting. Alright, so white decides, cool, I'm going to take that c pawn, open up this diagonal a bit more, and if you take, I'm guessing I'm going to trade queens. Black says, cool, I'm going to pick up that pawn, I'm not going to trade queens. Alright, now white can actually take the other pawn as well, but I'm guessing that's just absolute madness, because this knight is pinned and then like everything's attacking it, so CXD feels like absolute suicide. And of course, that turns out to be exactly what white played. Oh my goodness. Alright, I just said I think this is crazy. Your knight's pinned. As soon as they take that pawn, your knight is triple attacked. If you take here, they can take with check, and if you take again, they can take again, and if you block, they can take again, and then your queen would have to come back, and they can take this pawn. What is happening? Although I guess then black has also spent their kind of Grunfeld attacking bishop, so maybe that's crazy. But this, I mean, this just looks so dangerous here. You take here, I take, you block it. Guess it's not that dangerous. Take here, and then you can't take this pawn, and your queen has to move. Still, seems insane. Hang on one second. My wife, oh, little baby. Hey, Maniki. Just getting a little photo update from my wife. They are doing good. Happy to see the photos. Alright, continuing on. Knight BD. Alright, cool. So obviously this square is not usable. Black has now sacked two pawns, but white has got absolutely zero like king and development stuff going on here, so we'll have to see if having these pawns matter. Now obviously this pawn is hanging as well, so I don't know, do you push it, do you defend it, do you ram the other pawn forward? I mean, you can even, no, you don't want to move your king up, that's a little bit insane. Alright, bishop d2, okay, nice, having a little discovery on the queen. You take, and I what? I jump my knight out of the way to take your other knight? Very unsure what people are doing here. Okay, and black says, thank you, I'm going to take one of those pawns back. This does make rook c1 look pretty good. There's also e4. I still don't know what h forward really is about, so I don't know if we're supposed to look at jumps like this, to be honest. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone. Still very fun though. Maybe it's supposed to be a rook lift eventually, you never know. We'll see. Hey! Yeah. We can totally discuss moves, by the way. No one... Well, actually, I'm going to type it to make it faster. Yeah, discuss away. No one on the stream is supposed to be playing any of the games, so we are welcome to discuss anything and everything we want to discuss here. I absolutely cannot read your name, obviously, because I cannot read. Is this Vietnamese? Or it's not acrylic, is it? I can't tell. Maybe it's the font as well that I'm using, making it difficult for me to read. Anyway, yeah, discuss away. Alright, so black gets one of their pawns back. White's finally developing a bit. e4 indeed. Alright, so white's getting classic center. Black's got their diagonal attacking. No one's castled yet. Oh, wow. And black's like, cool, can I just kind of mate you immediately? Let's just, GG, let's move on. And if you block, I guess I'm going to take and just mess up your pawns that way. So, what are you supposed to do? Play queen e2 and once again not be able to castle or have to castle long. Options are limited. And your white does indeed play queen e2. Dangerous stuff. Although now obviously you can do this and take back with the queen, but you're still going to get double stuff. And g4 is unprotected. You cannot get that knight out of there anymore. Interesting stuff. It's Hebrew? That's awesome. That one's my music account? Oh, you have 2 accounts? Hello, Myrtle. It's very nice to see you here. It's been a while. It's been a long time since you've been on the stream, man. Thank you very much for coming past. It's Hebrew? That's flippin' awesome. Now I feel like such a douche for saying maybe it's like... What did I say? Vietnamese? Alright, I don't know. It's one of these things. Next time you're going to tell me it's Sanskrit and I'll be like, okay, well, you know, how am I supposed to know? So, fair enough. Yeah, but you should know that you can discuss moves on the stream. I'm surprised you have to ask. But anyway, of course, you're welcome to discuss anything and everything here. Within, I guess, a little bit of reason. Queen e2. White can now finally castle long, although I don't know if they want to. That's a bit crazy. Black does castle. They've only got one more light square bishop to move out, but it doesn't have anywhere to go, so... I don't know, maybe they want to put it on the long diagonal. Maybe this knight comes and sits in e5, and then they can bring it out this way somewhere. Rook c1. If white can't castle, they're at least going to make life kind of not so fun for black with that queen sitting over there. Can we say good moves or just bad ones? I'll leave that up to you. You are welcome to pick whichever moves you feel you want to share. This is a safe space. Feel free to discuss the type of moves you want to. Alright. Oh wow, okay, yeah. So very much black is down for trading some knights here, and the light square bishop can finally come out, although it literally only has like 1 square really. Although I guess what you could do is you could take and then play here to make white play f3. If that matters, I'm not really sure if it does, to be honest, and you still have to move it back again. And at any time white can try and jump this knight, hit your queen, and then what? Get a rook on c7 without castling, or get a knight there. Depends if it's actually a useful move. Alright. Oh, unexpected. They jumped the knight back to be able to put it on e3. well, in English, or in Japanese, you would say saska, which means like, oh, as you would expect of something or someone. So I would say like saska at 2200, finding this amazing retreating move. That's real fun. I like that. That's real cool. Knight D1, unveiling the attack on the queen. Now the queen has to move somewhere. White's king is never castling. Look at this. That is awesome. Yeah, like Chatakkuma is not in a hurry to get their king anywhere else. That's real fun. Alright, so queen goes to b6, pressuring this weak pawn. White is now able to put their dark square bishop on the diagonal though. That could be good. And they have their rook protecting it if it ever gets taken, and they also have this square for their knight if they want it. Also challenging this knight. Although, I mean, taking the what am I saying? Taking the e5 knight and playing f4. I mean, that's very thematic, except for the fact that your queen is, your king is like completely boxed in. Like um, asking for a what? Asking for a smothered mate. Saska, yeah. As you say, I'll write it for you. Here it is in Japanese, and there it is in just Romaji. Saska. So you would say Saska something. So smashing the like button, Saska Barbie, like as you would expect of Barbie. Very happy. Oop. Little pictures of my son. Very nice to see that. Alright, back to the game. We haven't even caught up yet. Queen b6. Queen b5. White says, let's trade. If we trade, White's up a pawn. So I guess it's probably not exactly what Black wants to do. So Black takes the f3 pawn, now messing up the pawn structure. Oh, very importantly, this knight on d1 also protects f2, otherwise it would have been mate, right? Alright. And knight e5. Oh, wow, okay. So Black says, cool, if you want to take my queen, I'm going to take back. I'm also going to be able to take here and check you once. Barbie smash, I like it. Yeah, this is some crazy stuff. And rook c3 protecting the pawn. Oh my goodness. I'm so curious how much theory or like played moves are in this, because White's position is absolutely insane. I mean, maybe this is a way you can play, but wow, like I've never seen this. This is so interesting. I'm very glad that we're here to catch it. This is very, very cool stuff. I would not recommend anyone do this except if they know what they're doing, because this does look very, very crazy. Hey, Vonay. Hey, rooting for art team. I like my suggestion. Ah, cool. You're from the art team from I like my suggestion. Let me actually just double check the pairings here. Nope, I have no idea who you are because you do not have the same name on YouTube. So please tell me who you are, or just which board, and I'll infer which you are. It's pretty good. So why did you self-pinning? Self-pinning following principles. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Yeah, this is some really interesting stuff here. Oh, again, we've just caught up as well. So both players still have about 20 something minutes on the clock. Still London. Still London is Von Hayesville is Sylvlondon. I'm confused, guys. You're confusing me with your chat. I'm getting lost. Um. Anyway, I was gonna say about 20 minutes for both players still, so there's a lot still to go here. Black still has to finish development with their light square bishop. White also has not moved their light square bishop. They've undeveloped their knight as well to protect against mate for a while. They also still have a nice move here to hit the queen and kind of force the issue a little bit. They probably also maybe want to play f4 if they can. to use this pawn majority because no, these F pawns are doubled and very silly. Oh, cowtone, hey cowtone, you're like board 7, right? Nice one. Oh, and you already won. Congratulations against ST Lion. Well done for your team. You guys have had an amazing season, by the way. Oh yeah, does cowtone play the cow? Isn't that something that like some female player made up when playing against the Anna Kramling, or does Anna Kramling play it and then the other the opponent her opponent the other woman made like a shirt about it or something? I feel like I saw something like this a while back. Anyway, I don't know the cow. Still interesting stuff though. Okay. Alright, so we've caught up now, and I'm just gonna refresh to make sure we don't have anything else going on here. Indeed we do not. So over to this game again. Let's see where we were last. Oh, okay, so last we were here with Joonaf and kostasvl. We were wondering if if white is going to play f3 or h3, as this is the only way that they can avoid getting completely crushed in this position after h6. I thought they have to play one of these because I think there's only so many options. You watch a clips of Alyssa Santaramo playing against Kremlin, yeah. I don't know if I actually watched the whole clip, to be frank. I think I just basically saw something saying about, I think it's the shirt. I made a shirt, and she was, yay, and then I probably moved on to something else. Alright, but you know, Alicia Santaramo. Is that someone I should know? I don't think I know this person. But clearly, you know the thing I'm talking about, so maybe it's something I should know. It's actually a very ancient opening, very detailed as the solution of chess in 23 man script. Is that how that works? How cool. How does the cow opening go? Actually, I don't actually know either. Um, cow opening. The cow opening. Cheese.com has a little thing about it. E3, D5, D3. Oh, okay. Anna Kramling, this is her meme opening. You just put your two. It's like pretending you're gonna play the bomb cloud, but not. You just put both your small pawns up. It's like tiny pawn center for white. Boom. The cow. Why is this called the cow though? But anyway. Moo moo. Oh yes, the cow goes moo. Bobby, you can come teach my kid about animals. You're clearly very good at it. Yeah. Hey Cans, nice to have you here. Hope you're doing good. Oh my goodness, Kostas is down to a few minutes. Let's catch up quickly. So, white will go f3 or h3. No, they will go bishop h4, hitting the queen. Oh, in between move. c6 just blocking that bishop, and also you've got b5 to kick it away. Very nice. f3. Oh, and now white black isn't sure what they want to do. Uh, I think you could just take this bishop. I don't think you have to worry too much. Or is the worry that they feel like they should take the pawn first and then take this bishop? Oh my goodness, black, make a move. Oh, man. Okay, thank goodness. Yo, alright, so white has successfully just put black in a little bit of a blender with this bishop a4 move, I guess. Going down all the way to increment, basically. Yeah, I guess, because you can do this with another threat and you're still hitting this. You still have this threat, I guess. You could have also just gone b5. Let's be confused like crazy. Everything is attacked everywhere. So white can take here, and then you take, and then they take, and then you take, and then they take, and then you take, and then they take, and everyone's just taking everything. That'd be pretty insane. Alright, but instead, okay, we're here, and now black has to decide if they want to trade queens or not. Honestly, if you're this low on time and you're this uncomfortable, I would say take the queen off the board. Just take the queen. Just take the queen. Just just take the queen, black. Let's not complicate. Yeah, there we go. Let's not complicate things too much. Now you've got a very nice square for your knight here, which could undouble your pawns potentially. You could always just trade off a knight if you have to, if they played like g3 for instance. You could play your knight back as well and then try like break, but I feel in a close position, obviously you want to keep some knights on the board. But I wouldn't be opposed. Okay, never mind. They go back. All right, so they go back. The knight's putting some pressure on these pawns. Now white can decide, but they're probably going to play h3. You probably don't want to lose this pawn now in this position. Is there anything else you could be doing instead? You could be hitting a knight, I guess, if you feel like that's worthwhile. Yeah, Cans, you've got the same idea. I just didn't think it was worth it because after white defends it, your knight's kind of going nowhere. And then your kingside pawns are doubled and stuck, and you've got this open, half open file against your f pawn, which feels very uncomfortable. So I was kind of hoping that if you play here, maybe white falls asleep and like just automatically takes like a little bit like a mistake, because then you could undouble and you no longer have a half open file against your queen, or against your pawn, you know? What am I saying? h3 doesn't defend. Oh, oh, it's pinned. Oh, it's pinned. Flippy flaps. I just dropped the G pawn anyway. Okay. It's too hard for me to say. I mean, you did say we could say good moves and bad moves, right? So maybe I'm just following your advice with the bad moves first. Yeah, you guys got me. The H pawn is pinned. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. I mean, in that case, you probably should just start making some counter threats or something. I did not. Oh, and I think white also fell for the same problem, guys. Too much Corona. I actually have a second one in the fridge, but I was thinking, oh, and black sees it instantly. I hope black isn't in the chat following all of your advice. Oh, and this can get dangerous because now if they jump here, they're also hitting both of these pawns. Oh, this could get nasty fast. Um, I think you have to play a3 here, hey? Confident takes a sip, yeah. Yeah. I'm getting worse and worse, like looking at the chat and looking at this thing, but I am enjoying myself. I hope you're enjoying yourself too. So basically, I think you have to push this queenside knight away, because once they play knight e3, they're doubling up on this forky, and also your g pawn is hanging. So you're going to lose some more pawns, which is not something you want. Yeah, knight's getting real dangerous. You're right. These knights are getting kind of scary. So for white, castling, honestly, I'd castling in either direction, but probably castling long is best. You could also just walk your king up, but I don't know if that's a very good move. Yeah, actually probably a pretty bad move, to be honest. Although if you do this and here, you are getting some good pressure on that pawn because you have this half open file. So I do still think it's not like white is lost or anything. This situation looks like there might be something there. Hey Jordan, long time no see, man. Thank you for coming past. H3, A3 and knight D5. Knight D5 loses a knight. Who is playing? Neither player can play knight D5. Everyone loses a knight in this position. I mean, black has to reroute their knight like this. And maybe they want to put it over here on e6 actually. This is a good square for a knight, especially because you have a dark square bishop. So putting in... Oh wait, no, then you want to put your knight on a dark square to hit light squares. But whatever, it's a good square. Can't castle short. Oh yeah, you're true, you're right, Cans. Thank you very much. You guys are just catching me all around. Should I make some tea instead? Clearly I'm already drunk. I'm just talking the most shit here. Every 5 seconds I'm saying a move that's actually illegal. Jordan, are you driving by the way? I hope you're not driving. If you are, audio only, yeah? As always. Alright. Well, Black coming back from the brink, looking like they're going to lose on time, and suddenly they're up a pawn and the one that attacks. And also, interestingly, neither player has castled yet. Look at this. King's still sitting in the starting positions along with the rooks. Very pretty. This has been a very, very action-packed game. White played an insane, like, aggressive strategy. Almost got their queen trapped. Found a very nice in-between with a bishop a4. I think that really caught Black off guard, and they went down to under a minute. But now everyone's on low time, so it's basically down to who can play some good blitz. Although you've got plus 45 seconds, so if you have your plan and it's following, you can build up a lot of time. I also just realized you can't really put your king here because it can still get pushed away. Like this square is now just permanently weak. This is not good. You probably want to find a way to like close things up. Oh man, I'm liking Black's position more and more. This is not good for White. Drink faster. Jordan, you are driving. Please be safe, yeah? Always be safe. Safety first. I believe you've got what, one or two kids? Oh, there is A3, yeah. Pretty sure A3 is kind of necessary, standard almost in this situation. You need to get that knight to run away so that you don't have everything weak all the time. Although I also realized that castling long walks your rooks into a fork. Oh my goodness. Black's just got so many ways to threaten with these knights. That is insane. Very, very good. Give me 1 second. Oh, very nice. You've got three boys. Yeah, what a road, what a roller coaster. Having a kid is very, very cool. I'm enjoying streaming. Alright, my wife says hi. And she says I should go to bed. Oh, there was a nice in-between move here. You could just kind of hit the king to make it move somewhere. Which might have been good for Black to play anyway. Just to kind of mess with White's king so it can't castle. Oh, this actually would have been really good, I think. Hit him once. Hit him once. Sorry. Hit him once. Hit him once, and then if he moves up to this square, if he gets off the back rank, hit him again so he has to go back. And in that way, White can't castle anymore, so he can't get his rooks active that quickly. I think. I think. Okay, but anyway, Black just retreated the knight. Now they're 6. They are again a minute and 19 seconds. Pretty intense. For White, yo, honestly, I feel like lashing out a bit, just getting this bishop back. Although you're actually kind of helping it, but this diagonal is such a problem. You can't castle long because then your rooks get forked. Your White's position is becoming tricky to play. Hey, this bishop a4 felt so good, but now I kind of wish I could put my knight there, you know, like hitting this bishop, and if it jumps here, maybe there's a way to try and get at it again, but I don't know. Tricky stuff. Maybe just kind of setting up your own threat might be worthwhile. Just getting some pressure here. And then actually as soon as you move this rook, then you can castle, I guess. Because then at least you're... over here you have to go back. Draw agreed. But we'll see. Alright, let's go back to the other game quickly as well. And then at 10 o'clock, I'm going to take 2 seconds to get myself some tea or something small. And then we will continue. Because there will be a few more games as well. Alright, this game was also just crazy. Rook c3 is the last move we saw defending this f3 pawn. White's gone and made the very interesting development choice around their king. Everyone's deciding who wants to trade queens. Obviously, if white takes, black takes back, and then this pawn's kind of weak. Alright, and black continued not to trade anything by going e6. I guess if you take, they can actually finally get their bishop out because currently it has very few squares to go to. Although they did have this move just hitting the queen, kind of forcing the trade. Alright, but anyway, they drew 6. And, okay, and white said, you know what, let's not play around anymore, let's get these queens off the board. So take, and a3, making sure this pawn is not immediately weak. And black, you know, maybe or maybe won't push these down the board, although black can also isolate the d pawn on white's side. At least without the queens, this king is no longer completely insanely weak, it is just now strangely weak. I can see like for white here and castling and f and then just like pushing all these pawns up might be good. Okay, so e takes, isolated passer for white, rook d8, and yeah, black's like, nah, no isolated passes for you. I actually wonder for white if you want to maybe hit the knight first, and where will it go? Honestly, I think this, yeah, this is what white's doing. I think the knight has to go back here, because here you can still hit it, and you might be happy to trade it off as well. Although obviously this does put your rook in a bit of a situation. So maybe you just want to play your rook over first. Importantly, it's protected, because otherwise bishop e6 is still okay, because your rook would fall. So I think you might have to go here. This is probably the best long-term plan though, getting this knight kind of back to its good natural square. Or you can go this way as well. So maybe you don't want to play something silly like, well, if you play here, you give your light square bishop some squares to work with at least, because otherwise you've got nothing. Alright, yeah, black does say, oh, I'll do that then. I don't know if that's how they sound, by the way. I'm just making up voices. Yeah, that is a little bit more active, but it's a little bit more scary as well. Now this rook is hanging, you can protect, or you can hit the knight, I guess. Although clearly like a h5 or something will just be there to keep it safe. Maybe this is just the move. The other thing that might be good here for white is after doing the... Oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to trade one of your pawns for one of my pawns for one of yours. Interesting. Oh, okay, I didn't realize the b pawn is weak, obviously. So if you move to your protected, you lose the b pawn. So white kind of has to be on this side of the board, and black's fianchetted bishop is now finally exerting its proper pressure on the queen side as well. Yo. Although white would obviously want to do this, but the situation is so strange. I mean, there's checks over here. This king is in a hole. If you get checked, do you defend with the bishop? No, you probably defend with the knight, so your bishop can still go on the long diagonal to fight. So if I were to check you, knight d3, I guess would be your main way to go. Okay, and go back. Alright, here we go, back to the other one, but I realize it's 10 o'clock, so I'm actually wondering if I can quickly take a break and get something to eat and drink. Let's see, a3, knight a6, knight d5. Ah, Cans, thank you. You mentioned this earlier, was it Cans? Let me see. Oh, it was Vonhey. And I was saying, what are you talking about? All the pawns are hitting everything. But yes, clearly this works. Oh man. Yeah, this works because the pawn is pinned. Although, after you castle, the pawn is not pinned. So then I'm not so sure if you still want your knight there. What are you like? Where are you gonna attack? If black castles now, where are you putting your knight? This is not possible. None of these are possible. You've got these two squares. So black castles and you go, whoops, I made a mistake, I'm gone. If black doesn't castle, then you hit the bishop. And you can finally get rid of it. Oh no, wait. Yeah, you can... no, here you can't get rid of it. But you can get rid of it on all the other squares. Although I think for white still, castling might be pretty good. If they could just make a plan here with the situation. Yo, alright. B5. Oh my goodness, hang on, the game continued. B5, breaking the pin. White goes back, dropping the piece unfortunately, takes a pawn for it, and gets a fairly strong bishop. Rook moves over to F, bishop F2, checking this king. Oh my goodness. If you go here, I probably fork you to take the rook, so you have to go up. In which case I can get you again. Here, oh man, black is really pulling out the stops. Bishop E3. If you go forward, yeah, I can't get you there, but I could get you on the file, and your pawn is kind of weak in the back here. If you go back here, I can check you, but I don't think that matters too much, to be honest. So I can hit you again, and then you'd have to move your knight. I don't know. Since white is not doing so good, maybe even just king e1. You know, asking, hey, do you want to draw? Draw agreed? No? King e1, because you are pushing this pawn around. So as soon as you can get out of a check. Oh wow, okay, they go towards king c3. Maybe they want to run all the way to a2. Just get as far away as possible. Check. Take with the knight, hitting the bishop. But the bishop will take here with check. Can pick up this pawn as well, let this rook, this knight in. This knight is also hanging actually, so white's found some interesting situations. The knight needs to move. Here it's hanging, here it's defending that pawn though, so that's pretty good. Go here, and then what does white have? You can hit the bishop, and assuming they don't just block up the... well, actually you can get it. Then you can double up on the f pawn. So that might be good. Let's say they go back. So let's say they jump the knight this way. You hit the bishop, they go back. You double up against that pawn. They castle. They've got 3 defenders. You've got 3 attackers. But also you can just get your rook onto f7, f6, and just get active on this side. That would be pretty good too. Yo, okay, hang on. And in this move, we still have a few. Rook b1, rook x, so we're trading some pawns. Alright, give me a little bit. We're halfway-ish, because I'm only doing a little bit over 2 hours today, so that was about 1 hour. I'm just going to find myself something to eat and drink quickly. It's going to be, call it 5 minutes. I will be right back. I'll make the music a little bit louder again. Maybe it's a bit too loud, I don't know. And there's a be right back thing I can put up my face if I remember where. Here it is. Alright, be right back. Oh, Rob, you said too late. I just got back to the screen. Apologies. I did not bring you any tea. Although, full disclosure, I'm kind of hungry, so I brought myself some snacks. Alright, let's have a look at what we missed. So, and yeah, I'm totally gonna eat on stream, I'm sorry. It's just a knight square for the bishop. Stops the f-pawn. White's pawns are kind of terrible. They've only got these guys still okay. Knight out. Okay, now the ef pawns are also looking a little bit better. This rook still has to get into the game somehow though. I wonder if you want to hit that rook. Oh, you actually want to trade off the darks for bishops though, but you don't want to isolate your pawns. So maybe rook back, and then here, and then you can play b4, still protecting your a-pawn. Hey, guitar pause. Guitar spider. What did I say? Sorry. Quite a few moves made in Joonaf kostasvl. Hello, Metal. Apologies for being gone so long. I was literally only 2 meters away through the counter in the kitchen. Okay, let's have a quick look at what happened in the Joonaf, and we also have to open up the new games. Check again. Check again. Only move. Check again. 2 moves here. This looks like mate though, actually. Well, almost. Not quite. A2 king. Called it. Very safe, I guess. Guitar Spider, are you watching the games today? And look at that, all of a sudden, white is the one forking pieces. I wonder if there was a way for black to avoid this. I guess avoiding this jump is probably the main point. Going here to hit that light square with bishop. But you had to castle or play... Apologies, you probably had to play this move first. To defend there, and then you could move your other knight around. Anyway. Congrats to white, congrats to white. Goodness me, getting back in the game with a fork. Black decides to take a pawn for it. Let me have a quick check here. Black's still up a pawn. 2 knights, bishop, and knight. Black's got a pretty inactive rook over here. This rook is able to double up, able to come on the A file. Black's got pressure on the C file though. Knight A, very strong outpost. Like, well, yeah, I guess you can come here, trade off the knights, and get your... I don't really know if that matters, to be honest. I would have considered another move as well. Here they trade, you take, they move their king closer, you have to run away again. King b3. Okay, that's a nice reroute, I like that. And actually now, because they put the king on b3, this bishop doesn't have a nice way out. They have to go into the corner basically. And that's what they do. Finally castles. Oh, interesting. And they don't take the b pawn. Any big reason not to? Maybe they just don't feel that that's really worth it. They're going to go for that D pawn instead. Also avoids the F pawn from being moved. I'm going to sneeze, sorry. Yo, that was unexpected. Oh, you just finished work, Guitar Spider? Welcome. Then I'm glad that you got some time off after a long day of hard, honest work, right? This game has been quite a roller coaster already. Quite a roller coaster indeed. Bless me, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Pushes the pawn, liquidates it, the knight can also jump there. Okay, actually, white's not up for the liquidation. White takes the B pawn. No additional threats immediately, so this is still on the cards here. D4. Oh, this is where we are currently. Okay, but we've got some more games that just happened, so let's just get the TV screen open. Let's see. Guitar Spider, I hope Joonaf wins. I need those fantasy points. Oh no! Fantasy has not gone my way, unfortunately, at the end. Akshak! Akshak's playing for my team. Akshak was in the stream last time. Let's have a look. E4, C6. It's a Caro-Kann. It's the advanced Caro-Kann. Is this the tall variation? H4? I think like it is. Trades the bishops off. Gets the check in. And tries to trade the queens immediately. Oh, interesting. And Akshak says, cool man, but I'm gonna mess up your F pawn if you do. So now, black lost a pawn, and white is up a pawn, but it's doubled isolated pawns in the middle of the board. Sorry, not up a pawn. Black just had to move their king, no F pawn, and white's got double pawns in the middle of the board. Trade off the dark square bishop as well. Knight up, you can jump that into G5 maybe. You can also jump it into E5. Both of these come with check now, that's also very nice. Bishop out. Alright, and here we are. This is the move now. Bishop D2 is unusual, I think. Bishop D2... It's not a move I know, but I don't really know the... I don't really know the Caro-Kann too well. I do remember looking at it originally, thinking it's quite fun. When I used to play E4, I had to play against it. I did think that the variations where you push your kingside pawns looked very fun, but I don't actually remember if I ever found a real answer to it by the time I stopped playing E4. But honestly, when I started playing D4, it just felt so natural. I was just like, why am I ever going to play E4 again? 92, so you can play C4 and prevent a queen trade is more normal. Ah, okay. Well, maybe trying to get off the beaten path a little bit here. Goes for the E check. This is also obviously clearly a very nice outpost. Backwards E pawn. Hey Jose! I feel like I'm rhyming. I didn't mean to rhyme. I'm doing good. Yeah, I've been doing okay, thank you very much. I've been busy with having the first child and all of that stuff, so I've also not been streaming too much. But you're right, I don't think I've seen you recently, so thank you very much for coming past. It's nice to have you back. Alright, we're going to come back to this game. I'm just opening up the other game as well. Jello 1 versus Legion. E4 game as well. This is a Sicilian. Like it. Open Sicilian and they say, alright, cool. Is this the timing off? Gonna break it with like an Alapin situation. Interesting. Knight of 6. Oh, hang on. I've seen this. Here and then there. I saw... Wow, this must have been how long ago now. I saw Nakamura play this. Or no, you know what? Maybe I saw a stream from someone else where they showed this variation and said Nakamura played this. This idea with getting the bishop out onto this diagonal first. G6, castles. H3. There's the bishop back now. Now the d pawn can move. And your e pawn is nice and safe. Although, doesn't look like your knights or your bishop's gonna get a lot down that diagonal immediately anyway. Cracks it open anyway. Alright, now black's accepted an isolated queen's pawn. I gotta say, I also see that black and white's ratings are a bit different. Black is basically 2400, white is 2160. Alright, so black accepts an IQP and says, cool man, let me whatchamacallit, liquidate that immediately. White says, nah, I'm gonna push instead. E5, jumps the knight out. Now this pawn is still hanging. You can protect it in 2 ways if you wanted to, 3 ways, apologies. But eventually, probably, you're not going to be able to hold on to it because there's just going to be so much pressure. And white takes care of f4. I mean, when you see f4, you got to love it. It's a little bit cray-cray, but it's fun. And black pounces on it. Queen b6, pinning the knight to the queen. They have knight c6 to attack it again. Maybe they have f6 to break down the pawns to attack it again. Maybe it's not actually such a strong, a specifically crushing move, but just puts the question to white. You played your f-pawn up. Now your king's a bit open, right? Okay, and this is where we are. Alright, but let's go back to the previous games because they are obviously well advanced. d5 and decided to take the b-pawn. And black said, I'm going to attack your rook. And white can double up, so they don't actually have to move even. But they do. Oh, interesting. They're going to try trade off some more active rooks. Yeah, I gotta say, now that the position is opening up, these two knights are not nearly as scary as they used to be when they were sitting on these squares. Alright, takes that pawn, takes the rook, plays g4. Let's see. Black has got 5 pawns, one of them is isolated, 2 of them are double. White's got 5 pawns, still very nice. And importantly, the BCD pawns are mobile. And mobile with tempi. Like you can get this in, hit the knight, maybe they come in here, jump over somewhere. Knight d3, okay, so here they go, pressure on the c pawn, got to defend it. And breaking with f5. I think you've got to take. If you don't take, they just play f4 and they've got a protected passer. So you kind of got to fix black structure. And now black has got a passer, white has got a passer. Wow, this is the same pawn structure as well in reverse. Everything to play for. But white is down the exchange. They've got a bishop for a rook. No, they've got a bishop for a knight. What am I talking about? They're not down the exchange. Black needs to get this man back in the game. Either here or here. They need to be able to get this knight going. Oh, and white's basically flagging. Play a move! White! Oh my goodness. Alright, c4. 50 minutes. They were down to 5 seconds. Yeah, when you have pass pawns, push them, right? So this knight needs to get somewhere. Maybe here. Maybe here. And this knight needs to get somewhere. And with this one, I think actually it plays very well with your pawn breaks. If you go here, you can get your knight into the square behind it. But I actually kind of liked playing G, because if they trade off, you get your knight in, and now you've got a protected passer with slightly less traffic in front of it, and you've got your knight active, which kind of feels good. Because it's hard to get rid of that pawn, so eventually, you know, you're going to have to either break or just never move this G pawn. Oh my goodness, and white is down on time, big time. Careful, white. 10 seconds again. You can move your rook though, right? Maybe hit the G pawn. Oh, okay. That's literally what they did. Alright, it wasn't the best move. Black can just move up their king and take care of it. I guess here you can at least hit it if you want to. Getting your bishop over here might be worth the trade. So you can put your G pawn there, but then you still have to protect it with something. Yeah, this knight is a bit weak. You can get it off its square. But right now you can't. You actually just, yeah. Black can still play this, I realize, because they've got both knights trained on that square. So if you take, they can take back with a knight. It is pinned to your king. It's a little bit dangerous though. But there's actually no direct way to make use of that pin just yet. Tight. Okay. Gets the king in. Alright, and white's finally started to make a little bit more of a decision. They're going to put their knight on some of the active open squares. Probably here is pretty good, because you also want to try and keep some control on this side, you know? If you go here, you're kind of far away. You don't cover any of the squares on the king side. For black, still it's this break. I actually still think they should have played g4, especially now that the king is off of it. I think just being able to get your pawns like past and also kill off this isolated pawn on this side seems kind of worthwhile. What can they do? Oh, they can get a check and hit your bishop though. That's, well, this is check first. Maybe go back here. Oh, but this double attacks your G pawn. Oh, snap. Looks like white's picking up a pawn. At the same time, this hits these guys, so you can take. Oh wow, but I think it's big for white to win the G pawn. Winning a pawn, because that means that the H pawn is also a passer. So the C pawn and the H pawn are a passer, and you, a lot of the time in these positions, having two kind of advantages / having two weaknesses on your opponent's side is very, very good. Kind of necessary, you know? What do you take with? What do you take with? I would say I kind of want to take with the rook, to be honest. Oh, and they do. You don't have a check here though, and you can't take this. So maybe it's not the best actually. But this knight is just so strong, so it feels like it shouldn't move. Alright, so now it's black's turn to get some action here. Maybe you go up so you can retake with your king. They take, you take. Maybe you attack this pawn from the back, and the point being that you're gonna get it on this side. But this obviously does allow this check. So here, 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 and even if you take, they can check you first and take your rook. Oh no, hang on, then you just win a piece. Never mind. It's not good for white. Yo, they went so low on time. But maybe taking with the knight was better to keep your rook active over here. Also to keep it behind your passed pawn if it needs to be. I don't know. It's hard to tell. This is still actually a very active game, even though it's played down 45 moves now all the way. Everyone's got 2 minutes. Both players have been under a minute at this point, at least once. Alright, let's have a quick look at what the other games are doing here. Oh, white is pretty low. Okay, so knight up takes, fixes the pawns, double attacks that, defends it from the side, and now looking to come in and hit this pawn, I guess. And if you block, I can still win a pawn. Bishop up, so the king can run here, I guess, if you need to. Or maybe you're trying to break open the king's side like this. Rook in. Oh, okay, never mind, I see. So the point being that I attack you so you don't have time to take the pawn with your bishop. Take it with your rook, trade, hits your rook. Alright, so 4v4. Everyone's got pawns on both sides of the board. Black's pawns are slightly more together. Rook A hitting the bishop, trades off the bishops, trades off the pawns. Looks like this is heading towards a draw. We'll see. But the remaining pawns are all the same side of the board, so if these guys go away and white's king is allowed to get in here as well, I think this might just be a draw. Bishop over. Oh, very good move attacking here. I guess you have to do this. Indeed you do. Take. Oh, and a beautiful in-between move by black. Takes the e-pawn with check and then takes the bishops. Now black is up a pawn, but still all the pawns are on the same side of the board. So this could still very much be a draw. King f3, king g7, rook a7, yeah. Alright, I think theoretically super grandmaster stuff this is a draw, right? But maybe because these pawns are disconnected, there's a way for black to make some kind of progress somehow. I don't really know. Maybe you can like pin it to your king. Oh, okay, never mind, just gonna block it up. Maybe for black the move is to try and get in here and attack both at the same time. Maybe that's the way you... Sorry, I made a very silly arrow. Maybe that's the way you wanna... Okay, now white's messing up my plan. Maybe this is what you want to do. Because if you can get your rook into g4, I mean, white might be able to like have their king over here and have their rook over here defending. But then if you break... Oh yeah, I think black might literally be looking at this. Oh wow, and you go here, I go here, you have to run up and then I get in. If you go here, what, I check you again. Here, back. Yeah, this space is a bit small. If white is aware enough, they can just kind of keep chasing the rook around and it has no chance to line up on the pawn or on the position here. I didn't stir this, I realized. That was a mistake. For white, maybe here. Is this still a draw if you trade off the pawns? I guess it should be. Black will get maybe one final pawn, but white's king is far enough up to stop it. Maybe just come in here and block. Come in here, and if they go over here, up, never mind, just go over there. Black has got a lot of time, but I wonder if they'll be able to pull off a win here. I'm going to go back to this game quickly, see what happened. Take, pushing the F-pawn. Oh, black is making a run for it. Oh, very fun. So white's still covering that square over there. But this would actually hit both of them. And you've got to be careful how you run your rook, because it needs to be able to protect against the F pawn queening. H4 sacks it to get the E pawn with check. Oh man, this is insane. This is intense. But now white is up a pawn still, and they've got solid pawns. Black's king is kind of out of the game. White's bishop isn't even really playing. White's just been kind of making moves here with the rook. And the threats I get, the threats from the bishop. So black or white, what to do now? I mean, white could also just put the knight straight in front of it. That also hits this knight, so you have to move your knights again. You do probably want to move your knights though. Actually wonder if you could sack in that case, being up a pawn in this kind of position. So go here, they go here, and you're just like, cool, I'm gonna take it. Take. And then you slowly start moving your pawns up. Oh, I'm not sure I like that. This does hit the knight and it does still cover the F1 square. So maybe it's good. Feels a bit uncomfortable though. Right. I wonder if these rooks get off the board, white has to make sure to bring their bishop back. Oh, this is a great find by white. Check this out. You can't take back because you get forked by the rook. Then you have to block it and trade it off. Then you're down 2 pawns versus white, and you have got a knight versus a bishop. And it's not just 2 pawns, they're connected, so C, D both passed. Oh, and alternatively you just don't take the knight. But what else do you do then? You can protect it, I guess. Although I feel like white might be able to find some ways to make life difficult for you. Right, black did not see that coming. You can feel them, I didn't see it coming. Everyone's playing blitz now basically, right? So this is tricky. both players are really just playing so hard, but white's slowly getting the advantage now. 2 pawns up and a bishop and a more active king. Alright, black takes it. I'm guessing they're blocking. They are. Trade off. I mean, this is in-game, right? So black's only hope is to draw, I guess. And to do that, they have to get the pawns off the board. This pawn is very important because it's on a dark square and helps to cover, but it's not enough at all. You still have this, but it is white's move right now. And honestly, if you trade these off, it's just a win for white, because black's king cannot stop all of these pawns. You'll be in zugzwang at some point. You have to make a move. Oh my goodness, what a game. Alright, it looks like white's taken it. We can come back and check. I'm just going to come look over here. After this move, black does look like they're trying to get in there. White says, cool, you want to do that? I'm going to defend. Okay. Yeah, basically just this. Sure, you can come on. But hang on now. What's going to happen if I move my king up here? Is this an okay way to defend? Ah, okay. Just stop your king from coming in. And well, I guess you've got this. And then white just goes up and down. Yeah, and white's just going to be like, cool, man. Draw agreed. I'm impressed. I didn't think this is a... I mean, I expected the king to be here and the rook to be here, but centralized king is better. Yeah, now white's just going to go up and down. And black can what? Try to break. But then they're only going to have 1 pawn left. And it should still be a draw. I would expect a 2200 player to be able to draw this position. So quite likely this would end to a draw. Let's have a look at what Akshak has been up to. After this bishop trade, 95 check. King goes over to the king side. Castles, leaving that bishop. Because they can develop the knight, I guess, if it gets taken. Develops a knight. Now takes... Ooh, gotta be careful. If you take with your king, I get an exchange. Take with the rooks, and now your rook is slightly misplaced. Doesn't really want to be on h6. Brings out the other knight. Knights come out. Knights come out. Knights come in. These are some strong knights. So because they took that f pawn and they took doubled pawns here, they have these very strong outposts now. So here you can trade off some of them, right? You can slowly trade off, but currently just very great, very nice squares to be on. Rook over, rook over, rook over, and pushing the a side pawns. Oops, sorry. Thiv is here. Surya Nathan. Nathan, but not Nathan because it's a double A, so I'm not sure if I should pronounce it Nathan or not. Thiv is here indeed. Although I'm not sure what that means, to be honest. What is Thiv is here? Please tell me. Alright, getting the rooks active. Rook lift as well. I wonder if it might be something like this and then trying to sneak an attack on the G pawn. Knight trade? No thank you. And you have to move your rook away. And doubling up against your E pawn. Oh, I think the E pawn is just falling, to be honest. It's protected twice. These knights are stuck though, you can't move it. Oh wow, amazing way to have to protect these things, eh? I mean, does it help if you check him or something? I guess not. Yeah, not immediately because your F knight is hanging. Although this isn't really a way to get out of anything because you can't go anywhere. Maybe you're going to play G4? Or even F. No, that doesn't work. Your knight's going to fall. So maybe G4 is the move here. Interesting way to play. I don't think I've seen a I don't think I've seen this kind of Caro-Kann setup before. This, I don't know where this came from. Equally, this situation is interesting. Well, not. This looks pretty normal. This looks very strange. I'm guessing this is the move for white, just to get their knight out back into being useful. Maybe they want to bring it over here. Maybe they can clean up some pawns. Although, I don't know. If you got your pawn there and they took, do you want to take with your knight or your rook to keep pressure on this pawn? Or do you want to take with your pawn to undouble? Maybe just undouble, I guess. Then you can push d4 with the other pawn. And then they would need to play c5 to crack open the position. Alright. And last one would be Jelly1 versus KS Legion now. Okay, we saw f4, which was really fun, and then queen b6, just pinning that knight for now. King walks out of the pin. Also wants to be careful that there isn't some kind of, knight f2 check situation. Rook over defending the backwards pawn. Knight c3, well, the isolated pawn. Attacking that pawn. And I guess the danger here is that I'm going to sack, and I'm just going to take the knight and also hit your rook, so you need to move it. So black just says, cool, never mind, we're going to take there, and you have to isolate some more pawns. So now white's also the one with isolated pawns. White's got this majority though, and very importantly, the e pawn is past the d1, so this is very much a 4v3, isolated, and a 2v1. Alright. Queen over, attacking all the pawns, also defending this one here. I feel like this is a pretty to be expected move. Could also just be a good time to bring out your queen. Maybe hit that pawn again, and then you can hit it again this way. Oh, and this is where we are now. And I actually think that there's one more game that should have started just now, so I'm just going to quickly check back here. Yeah. We're not going to be following all of this forever because I need to eventually go to bed. But Dadievid versus Soelver. Right, let's have a look what's happening here. c4, it's in English. d5, knight c. Wow. Okay, so clearly black has a plan versus this opening. I don't think most people play bishop e4 in this position. Knight over bishop a5. I mean, this basically just asks white to eventually take it in the corner, and then you hope that you can put all your pawns on dark squares and they've got an overextended queen side. Oh, this is literally where the position is now. Maybe white doesn't know this and they don't know if they want to play this whole situation. Wait, doesn't this just completely trap the bishop? Here, back, here, thank you very much. So I guess if you play here, you have to play here. What am I missing? And then take. Or is it this, and then here? So when you take, I take, and I keep the pawn in the middle. Maybe that's it. So bishop back first, letting them trade their knight if they want to, and if they then try and trap it, then you play. Oh, never mind. Black's just going to play it immediately. But in this case, doesn't white get the trade back? Take, and white's just up a pawn. Oh, no, never mind. This pawn is hanging. My bad. Okay, now both pawns are hanging. And if you play e4, this pawn is hanging too. Alright, black obviously did a bit of homework. Or this is just an opening that they play a lot. It's not something I know very well. It seems fun though. Definitely fun. Although I would say, I don't know, I feel like being able to play this, just having the chance to play these pieces out doesn't look too bad for white either. I wouldn't say that they're super worse. Alright, back to the time control, time trouble game. Let's see what happened here. Alright, we traded off the rooks, and white's starting to make a break for it. Doesn't want to get booked. Alright, now black has to just literally run for it. Ooh, that was a nice in-between move. I don't actually know if they could have just sacked it, to be honest. Take there, take there. These pawns are still safe. And you could slowly move your king back. I wonder if it might be okay, but white doesn't want to lose their pawn, so protects it first. Okay, now they're actually gonna try go the other way. Hits the king. Doesn't this just lose your pawn? Here. And then what? Here? I think black just dropped their last pawn. Maybe this long game has finally worn them down. They have no more pawns available. Yeah, unfortunate for black. You're just down 3 pawns at this point. I think white is hard pressed to lose this, to be honest. Although, there's a knight, you never know. You never know. Alright, on this side, has black tried to find a way to crack through here? Oh, interesting. Why didn't white just keep on going up and down? Oh, it's the point you're gonna go here, and then attack the pawn and you can't defend it anymore. That might be why they ran and just started. Oh, now they're gonna liquidate. But they just lost a pawn with the rook taking. Oh, wow, okay. So wait, hang on. Is white basically saying, I'm coming in to try and checkmate you, slash, you have to break your pawns apart, and then, okay, yeah. So now take here, and your king's cut off, and what? Oops, sorry. Can't have Steam open in the background. Sorry, Martin, I can't have stream open because then everyone has to listen to you messaging the whole time. And I'm not going to read it right now. I do apologize. Very interesting. So king has to come back. Is white going for a checkmate? That's insane interesting, man. So now you have to run somewhere. And then I come in here, I guess, or in here. If you go straight back, I can't. Yeah, I can't checkmate you there, though. I guess I can do this, and if you go up, we're going to draw. And if you go here, and you try to run out, I'm going to take. And then I've got my rook behind your pawns. Yeah. Wow, this is an interesting way to draw. Being down 3. So now you're down 3 pawns, but you have a rook, and these pawns are not connected. And not extended very far down the board. This is a different situation. So up here, draw agreed. Up here, basically also draw agreed. If you keep on running, I take here, and these guys are not going. I take here, and if you push this, I take again. And then I just run down your last H-pawn. Wow, and white saw this all the way back here. With this move here. I would have been like, oh, f5, I'm losing. Very good. If you push past, they push. If you go here, they can check you, and you are either gonna have to repeat on the back rank or give white a very dangerous passer. Yeah, I think there's just no way for black to win this, to be honest. If they had just a little bit of time, maybe, but white is just always in time to keep on messing with them. Akshak, what's happening here? Yeah, they did this interesting situation with their knights on the corner. Black's bringing back the knight. They maybe want to try and push this e-pawn forward, and they actually just drop it. How did they drop it though? Because if they take... But is it, oh, you know what? Is it something like I check, or is it like take, check you, and you have to go here, and then I take, and then your knight on c7. Yeah, yeah, c7 knight. Oh my goodness. Crazy stuff. Okay, so white won a pawn in all of that. And white is also up a billion times. 48 minutes, 20 seconds. Man, Akshak plays crazy fast. Alright, so takes the pawn. Black's starting to activate their queen side. White's activating their king. Oh man. This is interesting stuff. Now black has a choice of what pawn they want to take. Does it matter? If you take this way, I guess white's also just coming in here and hitting one of your pawns. So it kind of doesn't really matter which one you try to defend. They're going to take the other one, and then you can still have this. So white will still... Oh, hang on. Isn't black just recouping their pawn now? But that's one isolated one. If white comes in here, black takes, white takes. I know. White's coming back with the threat of pinning your knight and winning it. So you have to move your king up again. You can check here once, I guess, if you want to have your own checks going. But I think you'd rather win some pawns, wouldn't you? So you have to go up. They hit you again. Gonna go back again, I guess. I mean, you could go forward in this position, couldn't you? I mean, I don't know if you want to, though. Oh, you probably don't want to. Over here, you've got to be careful as well you don't get mated on the back again. So you could go this way, but you probably just want to go back and forth. And white has the choice of going here. Oh, no, it's king up. Defending the d pawn in the back. I like it. Oh, and now after you take, king e3 hits your rook, so you have to run away, so you can't protect both pawns. Maybe you can. Well, king e3 still looks good though. Either way, nothing's hanging with king e3. All these pawns are semi-protected. You've got a more active king. No one's gonna complain, right? 50 minutes. After calculating that winning a pawn situation, white just been like, alright, cool, let's blitz this, let's go. Alright, hang on. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. It's basically time for us to pack up shop. Let's just see what's happened in this game. Yeah, they had to take it, defended it. I thought maybe like a queen up to f3, but e1 also defends it, I guess. Also defends the e-pawn if that's an important thing. I guess you could also do this still. Knight over, takes it, connects black's pawns, isolates the a-pawn. Everyone's got isolated a-pawns. But there's a passer here, and there's a passer here. So everyone's got a potential majority. Pushes. Oh, very interesting. Double attacks this pawn now. Although this looks pretty nice. Doesn't it? Forcing that bishop to come out onto another diagonal. Blocking up the king, and then you can kind of wiggle your queen in here and have some mate threats. Always fun. You probably want to defend this pawn first. Unless you do this because you want to take another one. Because the second one's check, so you can win a pawn here. Oh, sorry. You don't win a pawn, but you trade these pawns for two of these. You know, and around the king, so that seems a bit more useful. So I like this. I actually quite like this as well. It does isolate your pawn. If they just take back, then your pawn's isolated, but you can still defend it. You could also not defend it and get a check in here if you've got some sneaky plans to take a rook or something. Maybe take once, go over here, attack that, and you still have this pawn as well. If they play there, take here. Oopsie. Take. Ugh. Wow, I'm not drawing very well anymore. They can play their bishop up. You can take it. They can take with their rook. That's not what you want. But you still have this pawn here to take with check at some point if you want to. Oh, no, you don't. Sorry. No, you do. You do. Here, here, over. Yeah, actually, this looks great. FXG is looking more and more attractive the longer I look at it. We'll see. Alright, let's just see this interesting opening. What happened here? Both pawns attacked d6. Putting it in d6. Hard to attack that pawn for a while. Takes the a pawn, and both players have a lot of time and everyone's chilling. This pawn is stuck. This pawn is probably gonna fall at some point. There's no dark square bishop, so it's not quite as useful as it could be. I wonder on this if you shouldn't maybe have protected the pawn instead. Then they take. Then you say never mind. That's not a good protection strategy. Then you have to push anyway. Ideally, you would like to protect this pawn, right? Pushing it puts it a little bit out of your range to keep safe. All right. Oh, this game finally ended. All right. Oh my goodness, black did not give up. All right, getting those passes going. All right, trades off one of the pawns. Now it's 2 and a bishop. I mean, obviously, it's just about the technique not to get a stalemate going. Oh, black is all about the stalemate. Look at this. No giving up, no giving up. GG, ladder mate with 2 queens in the corner. I will say, for future reference, Joonaf, if you're watching the stream afterwards, 2 queens, super dangerous. Because it forces you to calculate a billion more like squares that you're attacking to make sure you're in stalemate. You could have definitely promoted to rooks and just been very, very safe. So it is fun to have queens on the board, but you didn't need them at this point, I think. Just getting a rook would have been way more safe and avoided any stalemate risks. But well done to both players. This was an amazing game. What a roller coaster ride. Great game. GG. Yeah, this was a fantastic game. Very, very interesting. Let me just pop over to the analysis. I'm just going to look at the graph. Oh, wow. Okay, so white was clearly crushing at some point. Oh, black was super crushing. They just had to play f3. Minus 2.8. That is winning. Oh, man. Black is going to be so sad. And here, yeah, they had to just get the queen up immediately. Oh, wow. And then taking. Oh, man. This actually still kept the advantage for them. Wow, wouldn't have thought. Crazy stuff. There's so much to unpack in this game. Very, very nice game. GG. Alright, here, okay, this one also was a draw. So, we repeat it a little bit with the checks. And then kind of threaten a few things. And then everyone takes everything. And black's just like, cool, let's draw. GG. This is also a great game. So complicated in the middle. Well played by both players. Oh, yeah, actually. So white was very, very winning at the start. They just had to play f4. They had to hit that knight faster. Before... Oh, okay. If you hit the knight first, I guess... Well, what's the line actually here? f4, knight over, and then you take once. Okay. Okay. But anyway, and then black had a big chance to win. Oh, this was actually losing. No way. Oh, this was completely losing. All they had to do was what? What if they repeat? What's the point? Okay, and this is basically the way that they went. Oh, man. I mean, this is basically how the game went. Oh, wow. Okay. Just needed to get the king on this side of the pawns. Wow, that was very, very interesting. Okay, GG, another very interesting game. Akshak is also racing towards the end here. Queen e2, oh, king e2, king e3. Black's trying to queen. Oh, dangerous. So black's going to move all the way down and then check and promote. And now white's won the knight. But, oh yeah, you have to get your king in this position. You have to get your king on a square where it can't get checked. If it's black move, they check you and then they promote. So very, very dangerous. But white knows what they're doing, I guess. And now they're up a piece. And they're up a pawn. And I don't know if this pawn's ever going to be promoted, because they're probably just going to have to trade it off for some different pawns. Like here. Now then you take it, and then it's maybe here. King getting active, king getting active, king getting completely stuck in the center. Oh my goodness, now white is just up multiple pawns. This is also a nice check maybe. But they probably just want to stay, yeah, they just probably want to stay behind this a pawn. Now they've got two double isolated, so isolated d5, a d3 and 4 passes, and they've got a majority on the king side, and they have a knight. Alright, so white is completely winning, but it's all about the technique, and black hasn't given up. So black is still hoping they can maybe play and get something going here with that active rook. Although, yeah, so this is take, king up here, hitting everything here, sitting behind the pawns, I guess, I'm not sure, or here. Or you just come back, oh, or you just go in. Alright, and then we still have this game. Let's have a quick look here. F5, rook e8. Oh, they didn't play GF. Oh, FG. This looked very fun to me. But anyway, GG, no GF. Okay, they just defend the pawn instead. I guess they're happy for this to happen because something. Maybe they can trade off the dark square bishops or something. This is probably also what black's trying to figure out. Can I take that pawn? Or is it a terrible idea? Where should I develop my light square bishop? Should I get my queen involved somewhere else? Maybe play up something like this to hit the bishop away? I'm not sure. Feed Bobby. Bobby coming in with an insane line here. Let's see. Bobby says fxg, bishop xe, queen xe, rook xe, gxf, king f8, bishop h6. Whoa! What a calculation. Bobby, that is insane. And the point being that you get to queen your pawn over here, because this rook can't keep the king safe. The king has to move. Wait, isn't that? Yeah, the king has to move out of the way, and you would potentially queen there, unless there was some other good moves. But wow, what a line. Okay, and black does decide to just get their queen more active. Queen c5. Hitting this pawn still. Maybe getting in here, also getting back a little bit. Alright. And over here, after putting that pawn all the way in, queen b3 anyway, castles. Okay, this game is going pretty slow. I don't think we're going to be catching the end of it. Let's just actually... Oh, okay, never mind. Akshak got it. After they traded off their pawns and king e5, black resigned. GG. That was also a very interesting game. Very quick. Very quick. White played so fast, and that is the kind of graph you want to see if you're white. Not if you're black, though. What a game. Oh, so trading off the bishops was just not good. And you had to rook lift here to get your advantage. Okay. Well, never mind. They didn't trade off like they were apparently supposed to. And white was just always a little bit better. Always a little bit better. And then way better. Won a pawn. Got more active. And then after a little bit fancy move ordering here, they got the knight as well, and they also had enough time to still stop the promotion. Was the very important point they had to make sure of. They had so much time. 55 minutes by the end of the game, I think. More. 57, 55. GG. Fast. Yeah, that was very fast. Alright, we've got... Oh, there's a third game on as well. Alright, we'll just see what this is, but I think actually I need to go to bed because tomorrow I have to get up early. I have to go to Tokyo for some admin for my family. So, hello, it's a Scandi. Alright, knight c3 variation, d4, bishop d2, bishop c4, knight f3, queen back. Yo, I mean, I don't know why would black want to play this? Look how much development white has, but I guess it doesn't matter that much because their position is so solid as well. Asking the questions. Asking the questions right away. This pawn doesn't count for defense right now though, so only these guys count. So this break does kind of work. Here, 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 but then you castle and then the pawn's just attacking the piece, so I'm not so sure. It's not like you're actually winning anything, I think, here. Unless it's like take once and then I hit your queen and your bishop. Maybe that's the point. You can't take here because I fork you. That would be a very nice combination for white. Here, here. Maybe you come in here, I guess. I don't know. Take with check. You take back. It still doesn't actually work, does it? I'm not so sure how the d5 is supposed to work out for white. Maybe the point is just that you break down black's defenses fast, given that you're the one with all the development. It's not specifically like a tactical win just yet, it's just getting things opened up. KS Legion was a Gillet. c5, queen up, defending the pawn still. Oh, nice move. Can't take because the bishop's hanging. Nice. Very nice. Okay, but I think we're going to call it. I think I need to go to bed. Thank you everyone who was chilling out with me tonight. I had a really good time. And I really appreciate everyone who came past. It's really fun to chat with some people. Really good to catch up with all of you. And for everyone who was new, thank you very much for checking in afterwards. I'll be sending the link to those who we covered so they can also see this stream later on. And yeah, be safe and take care. I realized that I never turned the music volume down. So we've just had like a very loud background music the whole time. Alright, I'm going to stop here. And we will catch all of you again next time. Actually, I was wondering maybe on Monday if we might still do the recap for this season and just kind of maybe like look through the whole season briefly, looked at what the results for the last round was, because there's no pairings, right? So it's a shorter recap, but it might still be kind of fun to do just because there's no immediate next season, right? So there's a bit of a gap for all of us. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I had a great time. And I hope to see you guys again. Be safe and take care. Alright. Oh, workshop. Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm so sorry. My phone has not been updating any of the chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. I missed a bunch of stuff. Let me quickly just see here what's going on. After Surya Nathan, I didn't get anything. Queen X E5, very nice. Oh, hey Jay, what a game. I've really considered promoting to a knight before doing bishop g5. I had many options, it was too complicated and messed up in my head. I used a lot of time and still didn't check the line through. A work job. Very well done, Jay, by the way. Had a great game. I hope that you enjoy the coverage later on if you want to watch it. Work job, things are going well. I'm actually at the end of the stream now though. I'm going to bed. it's time for me to take a nap. Tomorrow I go to Tokyo. I have to get up early. I have to go do admin at the embassy, register, all kinds of things. So yeah, but it's going pretty okay, and I'm happy to end now because I need sleep. I'm actually quite tired. But this was really fun. So thank you very much, everyone. Omar, thank you very much for good night. Yeah, Sleepy Flippy is going to check out now. Thanks all for coming. Check you again next time. Be safe. Take care. Take care. Yeah, this was really fun. I had a really good time. Thank you very much. I'm off. Ciao, ciao.